If you're enjoying our content and want to see more, please subscribe to our podcast on our YouTube channel. Your subscription will not only keep you updated with our latest episodes, but also help us grow and expand our ministry. Thank you for your support.
So I confront him about that because I'm over I'm scared, I'm not going to approach you, I'm not going to say anything. Because at this point, it's been years, since we've had any like that physical altercation. Who is this? What's going on? I'm reading all throughout the emails. And he said, okay, yes, he admits it. I was having an affair, but it's over.
Welcome to the Call by God podcast with Adney Godin and myself, Nixon Sylvain. This show is about dialogues of biblical characters and testimonies of Christians who submitted to the will of God. Each week, we bring on one guest so that they can share their story of how they were called by God. I hope this show inspires you. Enjoy.
Just another, I guess you say, episode of him, cheating. And at that point, I just became numb.
Okay, so we go from high school, college, engaged, married, being pushed down some stairs. Mama saying, baby, you married, you got to stay in this. To him losing his job, leaving you to move back to Texas. His family saying to him, bruh, what kind of husband are you to leave your wife back in Missouri? Says to you, come home. You ain't got to work. Comes home late. Push him in the forehead. Punch you in the eye. You go to your sisters. Right? You say, okay, I'm coming back, but some things have to change. And the first thing is I need to work. He allows that. And the reason I'm running it down is because there's somebody out there that has that same exact story right now where they're staying because I made vows. I can't leave him because I made vows to God and to this man. Then you get pregnant, have twins. One of them, God rest her soul, she doesn't make it. Then your husband decides, well, I'm going to be out here being a philanderer and I'm just going to cheat. Through this process of him cheating, what's going on with you? Because let me tell you right now, this is still a wilderness moment. Through the process of him cheating, what's going on with you? What's going on in your mind? What are you feeling? Number one, where is God in all of this? Like through all of this from the beginning to this, where's our Father in the situation?
I know God is present because that's what I was taught. I was conditioned. God will not leave you. He will not forsake you. I knew he was present. But there was just no conviction with me at that point. I was convinced. I was conditioned. But there was no conviction. I don't understand. I'm confused. I've been blessed with twins. And the little girl that I've always wanted, I don't have her anymore. TJ is struggling to hold on in intensive care. Now, after I have TJ, he's in the hospital for 4 months. I can't bring him home. So I'm released from the hospital. I have to go home. And, he's there, Mackenzie's there. I can't see them. And with her, this is like 4 months. And then, it's getting that first call that Mackenzie didn't make it. And then TJ has to stay there. Now my ex-husband did visit every day because I'm healing, so I can't go anywhere. So he did visit, the NICU every day. And that's pretty much what he did. He went to work. He worked up the street from the hospital. He would go visit on his lunch hour. He would come back home and things were okay. But for me, I'm numb. I'm angry. I'm bitter. I'm resentful. I'm going to my closet and I'm looking at my maternity clothes saying, I should still be wearing these. I only carried them for 5 months. I should still be wearing these clothes. So I go back into that. I'm going to be strong, but it's anger. It's bitterness. I'm not angry at God. I'm not. But I'm like, Father, I don't understand. I don't get it. I've done everything right, I think. So I went through that. My ex, he's distant. I know there's someone else again. And I have so much support from my congregation at the time. They were very, very supportive. And it was around that time they passed out, the congregation gifted us with A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. And I started reading A Purpose-Driven Life. And, if you're familiar with A Purpose-Driven Life, it's pretty much surrounded around Romans 8:28. For we know that all things work together for the good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose or his will. And that was a struggle to accept that this life was not my own. I had no control over it. And I remember I shared this in a Bible study last night. We were studying Exodus 14. Right at the beginning when, God is preparing Moses to take the Israelites into that place where they're pretty much, as Brother Williams described it, between a rock and a hard place. It's like between a rock and a hard place in the sea. Because on the other side are the Egyptians, Pharaoh. So I didn't understand, but I was getting it. And I remember talking to my mom, and this is what I shared. I said, Mom, I'm just angry. I'm upset. I'm bitter. I don't understand. I don't get it. I've done everything right. And I don't have Mackenzie. I have the Mackenzie. And TJ's sick. And it was hard for me once I healed. It was hard for me to go visit TJ. Secretly, I was kind of upset with TJ. And my mom said something to me. And my mom's 40 years older than I am, so her tolerance is short when you talking about her Lord and Savior, when you're talking about the Almighty Father. And I'm crying. I'm like, these, women out here on welfare, they got 6 kids and they're healthy, And she said, just hush up. Hush up that noise. Stop that crying. Just hush up. She said, don't you talk about my God. She was like, don't you talk about him. She said, you don't have any control. She said, God can do with your life whatever he pleases. He can do with it whatever he wants. She said, he can strike you down if he wants to. And I just broke down. I was like, "Oh, I can't talk to you." So I hung up. But I didn't get it. I did not understand. I'm your daughter. I'm your baby girl. I'm going through something, you know? This is a wilderness moment. And you talking about God can do with my life whatever he wants. Um, but then the purpose driven life, Romans 8:28. Over the next few weeks, I remember it clicked. It clicked. I am not in control. He is. This is not my life for me to have a say so over. It's his. He can do whatever he wants. Whatever his will be done. His will be done. So that was that first piece of my conviction. Um, I'm still numb in the marriage, and now I'm focusing on my spiritual walk and what this means to me. And I'm going to visit TJ. You know, I'm giving him that nurturing. I'm going and doing kangaroo care, which they put a newborn preemie skin to skin on your chest. They found that works wonders. Babies that are sick.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you for making it midway through this episode. We want to take a moment to sincerely thank each and every one of you who have been supporting our show. Your encouragement and positive feedback mean the world to us. We want to continue to bring you inspiring and thought-provoking content each week, and that's where we need your help. We kindly ask you to support our podcast by clicking on the link provided in the description below. Your support will enable us to grow, reach a wider audience, and continue to produce the quality content you enjoy. We truly appreciate your support and value your contribution to the Call by God podcast. Together, let's inspire and uplift others in their faith journey. Thank you once again for your continued support, and we look forward to bringing you more enlightening episodes in the future. God bless.
And that was a firsthand account of nurture versus nature. TJ was next to a baby girl born the same day. They were probably 2 ounces apart. Her name was Miracle. She was born to teenagers. And they only came to visit her twice in the time that she was there. She and TJ were side by side. But either dad or we were going or both of us every day, and we would check on Miracle, ask the nurse, how's she doing? And in the course of 4 months you really get to know the NICU unit. Like, she's doing well, and their stats are like neck and neck. Sometimes her stats are better than TJ's. But then just shy of 4 months, and then the Miracle wasn't there anymore. Like, oh, did she go home? And one of the nurses that we had really come to tell, they said, no, she didn't make it. like, what? Wait a minute, she was just, you know, hey, and their stats were the same. And they said, um, she just, she just, she died of neglect. You know, the medicine and the treatments and everything we were doing just wasn't enough. I said, wow, now I get nature versus nurture. Um, but I'm going back, to visit TJ. I'm visiting TJ. I'm getting stronger. Um, and right at this point, my ex-husband and I were just coexisting, really. And it's good, Um, but it's just I'm numb. I've checked out basically because now, I get it. I'm starting to get it, my purpose or God's purpose for me. So now I'm just concentrating on me and TJ. Yeah, so we need a bigger space from the apartment. So we're, house hunting now. And that process is great. You know, we're this little family, we're looking for homes. And after, oh my goodness, we probably looked at about 35 houses. We went into one house and I remember TJ running into the house. And the people were still living there, but they had it staged, so well. I remember TJ running into the house and he just fell out in the middle of the floor and just like spread eagle and just looked in the ceiling. And our realtor, he said, "This is the house." Because TJ felt so comfortable. He was just out in the middle of the floor. We were like, okay, this is the house. Um, so we ended up, buying the house. Um, and everything is everything's good. Everything's good. Found, another congregation to attend that was closer. Uh, TJ's in daycare. I've gone back to work, at this point. Um, and my ex, he's working. And then he's faced with a decision. He either has to, he worked for the state, so they're going through a RIF, a reduction in force. So he says, okay, either I have to find another position, like take a demotion, or take a promotion, but it's going to require that I travel like 80% of the time. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Hey, it's me and TJ. I'm working. He's in daycare. We're, it'll be okay. And at this point, I think I'm understanding marriage more of like a partnership. It's not all lovey-dovey and butterflies and everything. So this is my interpretation of marriage. Okay, you go ahead and travel. I'll be here. It's not going to be lovey-dovey all the time, and I'm going to be I'm being the supportive wife. And he starts traveling, and we probably see him twice a month. But I'm okay. I'm good. Now, when he starts traveling, um, my mom and stepdad decide to move back to Texas. So she can, just really just be there to support me. And so they moved back. So I had that support, while my ex-husband's traveling. And he and I are talking one evening, and he wants me to find something that a friend of ours was sending him. He was like, I can't find it. I think they emailed it to me, And I said, okay, I'll look for it. So I have access to his email. So I'm going through, the email trying to find this information that our friend, sent him. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't find it in the inbox. I'm looking, I'm going. So I was like, well, let me look in the deleted. Maybe he made a mistake and deleted it. So I go through the deleted emails and I see these frequent emails from this woman. And I'm like, this isn't this isn't his business email. I mean, this is a lot. So I'm curious. Like, what are they talking about? Well, uh, they're talking about their date. They're talking about, where they're gonna go the next night, or how much they enjoy doing this or doing that. Oh, thank you for making coffee this morning. Did you get the flowers I sent to your job? I'll pick up your prescription after I get off from work. I'm like, and I'm doing a double take because I'm thinking, are these emails to me? I mean, because that's the way it sounds. This is a full relationship. So I confront him about that because I'm over I'm scared, I'm not going to approach you, I'm not going to say anything. Because at this point, it's been years, since we've had any like that physical altercation. Who is this? What's going on? I'm reading all throughout the emails, and he said, oh, okay, yes, he admits it. I was having I was having an affair, but it's over. Look at the dates on the emails. That was a while back. And I'm thinking, I don't care. What it's new for me. It's old for you, but it's new for me. What? And this is where, he was traveling to. He was traveling to San Antonio for like, a year at this point. And this was someone that worked at the hotel where he was staying. And so, oh no, it's this, it's that, it's over, it's done. And the next time he comes home, he's pretty convincing. He's pretty convincing. Um, I'm done with that. It just happened and I got caught up, and he's honest about a lot, too honest. And I'm like, okay, okay. Well, everything's good. I'm convinced it's over. It's done. He's extremely convincing before he leaves, to go back because I'm picking him up from the airport every time he comes in and taking him back. Uh, so I remember that morning we went and had breakfast before I dropped him off at the airport. Everything's good. About 2 weeks later, I'm at work, and the way it was set up with our email, our voicemail came up in our email. We had a voicemail box on email. And so I noticed that I have a voicemail from him, but it's like after hours. I'm like, why is he calling me at work at like 9 o'clock at night? So I listened to the voicemail, and it's just, background noise. And I'm like, oh, you know, he uh, dialed me by mistake, so it's background noise. And so I'm doing things at work and I'm looking through my email while I'm listening to, the voicemail. And then I hear, um, hey, babe, can you grab me a towel? I'm like, oh, he must have like dialed me at work while he was here. And I'm like, okay. And then I hear another voice. It's not mine. And I'm in shock. And I'm like, so he's with her. And this is like 2 weeks after he was here. And I said, oh, okay, I'm done. This is it. This is it. I called him. I said, all of your stuff is packed. Where do you want me to send it? What is her address? And he's like, what? What are you talking about? Oh my God, here we go again. I told you it's over. I said, no, no, sir. This is the voicemail that I just received at work. You dialed me by mistake and I heard everything. And he's just silent. I said, yeah. Where do you want me to send your stuff? Because you're not coming back here. I've packed it and it's being sent to you. I'm done. TJ and I will be fine. And he's just begging and pleading. Nope, goodbye. Well, he takes drastic measures because he knows I'm done. So we haven't talked in like a week. Um, all of a sudden, I come home from work one evening. I pick TJ up from school, and I come home, and he's there. And I'm like, "What are you doing here? You come get your stuff?" He's like, "No, I'm here for good." All right, what do you mean you're here for good? I quit. You quit? He said, "Yeah, I quit. I'm done. It's over, Marshawn. That scared me. I tried to get away with it, and you caught me. And God told me, okay, that's it." And I said, "Okay, you quit for real. Like you're here for good, and it's over." He was like, "Yes, it's over. I'm done. I'm here." That terrified me because I knew you weren't playing, and I wasn't. I'm like, well, I need some time. It's not. I'm not gonna make it easy. I need some time. So I actually left for a little bit and got a hotel and left TJ with him. You raise your son. I need some time. And that scared him. It did. He and TJ trying to come and visit me at the hotel. I spoke to TJ, hugged and loved on my baby, and I was like, okay, And he's using TJ, mommy, you leaving us? You coming home? I'm hungry. I don't want to eat cookies for breakfast anymore. I'm like, your dad told you to say that. You're not eating cookies for breakfast. So time goes by. He's extremely apologetic, remorseful. I'm getting the red carpet, flowers, candy. He's just, he's called my mom, my stepdad. He's gone over there. I'm so sorry. So then my mom is like, I think this is it, Marshawn. He quit his job. He's here. He's trying to, he's living off his severance and, don't be too hard on him. I think he learned his lesson. I'm like, okay, all right. So, we mend things. I come back. Now I'm tough because I'm not making it easy for you. Uh, and I guess it's been some time because TJ's in elementary school by this time, and I think he's probably 6, yeah, first grade. Um, and I find out I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, maybe this is, we're mending. And then I have a miscarriage at 12 weeks. that was devastating because there was no fertility treatments or anything. I just, God blessed me to get pregnant. So I have a miscarriage. And that's hard. That's tough. That's difficult. And he's right there consoling, we're going to get through this. I feel like this is my fault because of the stress. And I'm like, no, it's, we're good. It's okay. It's okay. This happened for a reason. I don't feel that bitterness and angry and resentment anymore. So we get through that. And I start feeling that feeling again. I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm trying to mend my marriage and, now I have a miscarriage and I'm, talking to my mom. My mom again, hush up that, hush, hush it up, hush up. God isn't ready for you to have a baby. He's just not ready. Now you went through this and you went through that. And yeah, y'all fine and good. And now you're mad because you got pregnant and you lost the baby. Just hush up. Okay. And again, I'm upset. Okay. You don't understand. You don't understand. Which, my mom has a whole story of herself. She's miscarried. She's lost a child after birth. At this point, my mom has been, uh, at this point, she's been widowed twice. So for me to say you don't understand, oh, she understood. She understood. But her faith in God was rock solid. So after she told me that, she said, God just isn't ready yet. He's not ready. It's not about you, it's about him. Now heal in your marriage. I said, okay. About 3 days later, I woke up one morning and I'm like, I get it. I get it. Sorry, that's my neighbor's dog. That's Casper. Casper makes his entrance every day to the world. But at any rate, um, I wake up like 3 days later, and I'm like, this is like the second part of my conviction. God isn't ready yet. I'm on his time, not mine. Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting it, Father. I'm getting it. So I move on. Uh, Still healing in my marriage. He's wonderful. We buy. He buys me a. I have a Chihuahua. For about, I guess, 5 years at this point. We buy another dog. We buy a Mastiff, a Bull Mastiff, Mojo. So we have, our two dogs, and it's TJ and it's us, and we're doing good. And he's helping me heal from the miscarriage. Um, and with the congregation, another sister in Christ, she's going through fertility issues, and I'm helping her through that. We decide at our congregation we're going to start a Hannah ministry. So we were successful in doing that, and helping other sisters in the body, who are suffering from infertility. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is my purpose. This is why I went through what I went through. This is why I had issues with fertility. This is why I lost Mackenzie. This is why I miscarried. Oh, Father, I get it. I get it. So I'm good. I'm I'm trucking along. Okay. I had to experience that in order for God to get the glory. Because now I'm glorifying him. I had to have my testimony first. I get it. And TJ's 8.5. And I wake up one Saturday morning, and what was supposed to come 30 days ago didn't come. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, because I'm going to the gym and I'm working out. I'm like, well, maybe I'm working out and it's affected my hormones. I was like, okay, well, just for grins and giggles, I'm gonna take a pregnancy test. It's positive, and I'm like, what? 2 lines, plus sign, happy face. I went back to the store and got all of them. I took them all, and all of them said what they're supposed to say. They were all positive. I showed my ex-husband, and he's like, what? Like, yeah. And this time we're like extra cautious. We're like, okay, we're not going to tell anybody. We're going to go to the doctor. We're going to do this. I'm taking my folic acid. I'm making sure that I'm taking all the necessary precautions. And 2 months go by, 3 months go by. I'm good. 4 months, 5 months. I'm good. My OBGYN, she sends me to a perinatologist. And she knows my history. She's seen my medical records. She's like, this baby is a miracle. He's off the charts every time I go to my visit. He's measuring 3-4 weeks ahead. They test me for gestational diabetes twice because he's growing so fast. She's like, and when I walked in, she was like, okay, you and my miracle baby. And he's growing and growing, and she has to put me on a diet because she's like, do you want an 11-pound baby? And I'm like, no. So she's like, okay, you're going to start eating fish and eating more fruits and vegetables. And, so, time goes on. We schedule the C-section. Um, Cruz is born, just came into this world, a character. And everything is wonderful. Everything is wonderful. Dad is beaming. I'm beaming. TJ's upset because he's not by himself anymore. Life is good. God is good. I was patient and I waited and I did what God wanted me to do. And he showed me what he could do. He showed me what he could do. You don't have to take fertility treatments. Let me show you what I can do. And when I do what I can do, you are going to have a healthy, perfect child that you didn't even have to work for. So I got it. I got it. He was born 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and has just been the picture of health for the last 12 years. Time goes on. Time goes on. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. I'm getting back to the Marshawn that my ex-husband met, at this point, 10 years ago. I'm sorry, not TJ's 10. At this point, we were married 14 years, right at 13 and a half, 14 years. And he's getting jealous. Why are you always going to the gym? Why are you wearing lipstick? Why are you wearing that dress to work? What? Looking good. I just had another baby, and I stayed home with him for 8 weeks, and my mom is taking care of him now. She's like, don't put that baby in daycare. I'll take care of him. She's 78 years old. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not looking at anybody. I'm not thinking about anybody. But the jealousy starts, it grows and it grows. So he's looking through my phone records. He's waking me up 3 o'clock in the morning because he didn't recognize a phone number that he had printed off from T-Mobile. And I'm like, what are you doing? Um, and at this point, it's just he's just become paranoid. So it's become so bad that based on what I've been told and understood about domestic violence, I'm preparing myself. So I talked to my mom because he's calling her. Tell your daughter to stop wearing makeup. I don't even wear makeup. It's tinted lip gloss. What are you talking about? You know, she went and got her hair done. You called my mom to tell on me about getting my hair done because you're convinced okay. So I talked to my mom and she's like, yeah, he's being irrational at this point. So my mom, she buys me another phone. She gets me another phone for emergencies. Because I tell her what he's doing with my current phone. So everything's okay. I have this other phone, and it was that one Saturday. We're getting ready to go somewhere. I think we may probably planned a trip to the zoo or something like that. We're gonna go have breakfast, go to the zoo. Make a day of it. So I'm getting ready. He has a bathroom, I have one, but he comes into my bathroom um, to find a comb. And I'm like, now, mind you, I forgot about this other phone. It's in my drawer in the bathroom, like way back in the back, and I have other stuff in there. So he comes in and he's like, I need a comb. And I'm like, okay, not thinking. He pulls the drawer out and my phone slides to the front. And I'm like, and so I'm trying to just kind of maintain my composure. And he closes it back. He grabs the comb and he closes the drawer back. And I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he thought it was an old phone. You know, well, I don't know why we keep our old phones like that. I have two in my drawer now. But he comes back. He puts the comb back in the drawer and he closes it and he just stands there behind me. He says, you have another phone? And I said, yeah. I said, it's for emergencies. Mom got it for me. He said, your mom didn't get you that phone. You're trying to leave me and be with someone else. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he opens up the drawer. He grabs the phone. And I'm fighting for the phone now. At this point, we're gonna fight. So I'm fighting for the phone. I'm grabbing it. He's holding it up in the air. I'm jumping. I'm trying to get it. I grab it. I throw it across the room so he can't get to it. All this, TJ's in the other room. Cruz is, on our bed, sleep. He's taking a nap, and we're just, we're fighting. We go into the other room. I have the phone. I grab the phone. Um, you know, from over in the corner where I threw it because he's going after it. I mean, we're fighting for this phone, so we're moving into the living room. And now he's being really, really aggressive. You know, he's bending my arm back. He's scratching me. He's biting me. TJ comes out of the room. Stop! Get off my mom! Get off my mom! And he's like, "You go in the room, or you're gonna be next." And TJ's at this point, he's trembling, and he's 10. TJ's like, "Mommy, just stop fighting. You're making it worse." Stop fighting. You're making it worse. And he has me like bent backwards over the couch and he's biting my hand. And I told TJ, I said, TJ, go in the room and close the door. So he pulls me up off the couch and my hair is like really, long then. I have it up in a ponytail. He grabs my ponytail, wraps it around his hand and pulls me across the floor. And I'm kicking and I'm screaming. And he picks me up off the floor by my hair. He slams my head into the wall. And he's like, this is what you wanted. You're going to get it today. He slams my head into the wall. He chokes me. He has me up against the wall and he's choking me. And I'm like, I said, just let me go. Please let me go. I'll take the boys and I'll go. Please just let me go. Just let me take the boys and I'll go. Because you're not leaving this house alive. You are not leaving this house alive. Not with my boys. Not today. So he leaves and he comes back and he has a gun.
That's it for now. But before we go, please continue to listen, subscribe, and share our podcast. Also, if you want to support our show, please scroll down to the bottom of the show notes and click on the link that says Buy Me a Coffee. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for listening. And remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. And also, Jesus Christ loves you. Thank you. Wait, there's more. What if today was your last day on earth? Would you be ready to meet your Maker? Well, Jesus Christ has given us the good news. He told his disciples in Mark 16:15-16, and he said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned." Jesus Christ has instructed his children to share and preach the gospel, which is the good news, which means that Jesus Christ came and that he was sacrificed, he was buried, and he rose on the third day. By believing and by repenting and confessing and being baptized, you will be saved. So it is your choice. Jesus Christ will not force you. You've heard the message, you heard personal testimonies, but this is your opportunity to give your life to Christ. Don't wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. So I hope you submit to the will of God and give your soul to Christ. Be blessed.